Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Jacob Restituto, and I'm a musician from Northport, New York. And as tradition here on the channel, usually every time I watch one of these music documentaries, especially like in relation to the Patreon and stuff that I've been hyping and talking about on the channel a lot, I tend to do these like breakdowns after the fact of giving my thoughts for the people that aren't able to make it on the Patreon, and kind of just give feedback and kind of give my feedback as a whole. So today I have 6 points talking about Shawn Mendes and Wonder. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really well done. I thought that the time frame was really perfect. It wasn't too long. It wasn't too short. It didn't leave you where it's like, oh my gosh, like I wish there was so much more. Which of course I would have totally enjoyed more. But it also like wasn't like a 20-minute video, which would be like, oh man, like there's so much more I want to see. But there also I felt like wasn't like, oh my gosh, this has been going on for quite some time now. So I thought it was really well done. It was perfectly timed. There are 6 points. The first point I want to talk about is how unbelievably hard of a worker Shawn Mendes is, and so many of the other so many artists we just don't get to see the behind the scenes. We just see them playing their guitar and be like, "Oh, they live the life, man!" Like they're just playing the guitar in front of 20,000 people. They're living the life. Like there is so much travel. There is so much time spent away from family and friends. There are so many things that we don't get to see, and I like that these documentaries get to show it because it there's a lot of work that goes involved. There's a lot of sacrifice that goes involved. I think there was this line in the movie where his mom was like, yeah, he comes back for like Christmas Eve and like he spends Christmas Eve and then the next morning he's somewhere else. Like that's a sacrifice. So that's the first thing, and it kind of leads into the second point, which is these like crazy, first of all, crazy expectations of other people that they have for you, and this intense pressure that you feel, which is like you with the scene where he cancels his show. Like, man, like that pressure that you feel of letting down, 50,000 people. Like, I don't think most of us can fathom that kind of pressure where it's like something that's, first of all, now out of your control. Second of all, if you made a mistake or something, which this isn't necessarily a mistake at all. It's actually just completely out of control where he got sick. Most of us will never ever feel that pressure of, something that you do affecting that many people. And I just, it's wild. And with all that pressure, all that hard work, all the intense crowds that are there. This is the third point, the intense crowds, the people hysterically crying because they can't see Shawn Mendes live because he's sick. Like that's it. Or like completely swarming around the car so the car can't move. Like it's intimidating. And I see some of this stuff sometimes. I'm like, do I really want what I want kind of thing? I don't know. Because it's crazy sometimes to see what these famous people go through. So that's the third point. The fourth point is I can't believe how young he is. First of all, he looks like he's like 25, 26, 27, 30 kind of age. I think in the filming of this, he was like 21 years old. The talent that he has and the songwriting ability at 21 and what he's done at 21, 22, it's unbelievable. And I'm going to be completely honest, it's so hard for me not to compare, be like, oh my gosh, this kid is 22 years old now, and here I am at 26, and he's playing 30,000, 50,000, 100,000 people, but it's like, you can't do that. You can't compare because we have a different story. He has a story, I have my story, and, I hope to play the same shows as him one day, but you know what? I can't compare. Our journeys will be totally different. One thing that I found really fascinating and really interesting, kind of an answer to a question that I've been having for a long time, is I see a lot of artists that, or I see two schools of thoughts. I see like these artists that start off as cover artists, and then they kind of stick as they kind of can't break that cover artist like realm, where it's like, for example, and I don't know the answer to it, whether or not they want to or they just can't get out of it. For example, like they'll go on tour and people want to hear their covers, and that terrifies me as a musician because I don't want to start doing covers and like that's all people, like one of my covers then go off and blow up and get 10 million views, and like now I go on tour to play the shows and that's all people want to hear. It's like I don't want that. I want people to come to the show to hear my song. Now he is a great example of that, where it's like he started doing covers. He was on Vine doing these great covers, and then he doesn't really talk. You don't hear all that often about those covers anymore. It's Shawn Mendes' original music, which is a really seamless and really cool transition that he ended up doing. But they showed a live one of his, I think his first performance when he was like 15 in I think in Canada in a high school auditorium, and his first song was an Ed Sheeran song. You know what I mean? And so it was a cover song. So very interesting. Another thing that I want to comment on is how ridiculous his voice is as a singer. Oh my gosh, man, his voice is crazy, and it's like, all right, I'm like, all right, that's it. I need to sign up for vocal lessons. Well, like, yeah, I can sing and stuff. I'm like, that is so next level. Like, it is so unbelievably talented. So I really enjoyed it. It was really, I love watching these because they're so inspirational as an artist. They make me so I literally I stopped filming it. I actually got to be honest, I couldn't wait to finish it because I'm like, I want to go outside and I want to film covers, not covers. I want to film acoustic videos of my own songs, and I did. I went right outside. I filmed these videos of my songs, and it's like it just inspires me so much as an artist. I'm like, I want it. You know what I mean? The drive continues. So if you are interested in seeing more, then there's going to be more. If you want to see the first of all, that it's on Patreon already. If you want to see more of that stuff, it's going to be on Patreon as well. For example, like Taylor Swift, Ariana Grande. There's a couple of people on my queue. Some people I'm considering. And so just leave your comments below of who you want to see. I think Billie Eilish might be in the mix. There's ideas that I have. I want to guarantee anything because I want to do a little more research on the actual documentaries before I commit to them. But there's going to be a lot of fun stuff coming up. So if you are interested in that, consider signing up. If you want to check out my own music, it's Jacob Restituto wherever you listen. And I'll see you in the next video. Consider subscribing. God bless and peace.